Hi, I'm Sara and welcome to Hen Corner. We've got a top treat today. It's a lovely summer's evening. Well, I say summer, it's May, but it's a bank holiday weekend and we are going to make the most of a lovely warm evening, and we're going to be cooking in the garden and we're making perfect paella. Now, we are in lockdown, so we are limited with some of the ingredients. We haven't got everything that we wanted, but we're going to have something pretty special. So this paella pan has been heating up on the fire pit. I'm going to get some oil in. I'm going to put the chicken in and get that starting to stir fry as our first recipe. So we've got some olive oil. We've got some chicken here that I have just cut up. Woo! And I'm going to give that a bit of a stir because I don't want it sticking to the pan. And this is thigh meat, because thigh meat I find has got more flavour. It's also cheaper. So we've got thigh meat here and we are giving it a nice little gentle stir fry to get it sealed before we start adding in the other ingredients. So the next thing I'm going to do, just whilst that's cooking, I'm going to get some onions and garlic cut up. I'm going to work quite quickly because that's cooking quite quickly. Onions, and we're going to have them cut up into wedges. That's going to go into the pan. And some garlic. The garlic. Give that a bit of a stir. Woo! Oh, that's a bit of chicken there. Pop that back in. Then we're going to put some peppers and mushrooms in. And then once that's all cooking down nicely, I'm going to make some stock, some chicken stock, and we're going to add some paprika and some turmeric to the chicken stock. And then we're going to put the rice in and cook the rice in the stock, and all the flavours will come down together really nicely. And we'll throw in some prawns at the end of the day. So let me get the last few vegetables in. We've got our pepper. Some mushrooms. Not too close, girls. And let's get these cooking nicely. Now, we've got meat in here. We're also going to put some chorizo in as well. And you don't have to have it with meat. You can have it as vegetarian. You can have it as a seafood dish. You can just have it as a lovely Spanish rice with mixed vegetables. If you're not going to have the meat or the fish, go for some more protein. Maybe put some corn in or some tofu. But make sure that you've got a really lovely summery dish that, of course, we're cooking outside we can eat it outside as well. So just while this is coming together, I'm going to go and put the kettle on to make my hot chicken stock. Obviously, if you're not using chicken, you can use the vegetable stock, or if you're using seafood, you can have a seafood stock. I'm going to go and get the kettle on to make that stock and bring back the chorizo to get that in the pan as well. And we're well on the way to getting it ready to start simmering. Here we have some smoked chorizo, which is brilliant. It's got saltiness, it's got the smoked flavours and spicy pork that we're going to add to the pan now. If I can open it. Ah, there was a special little opening section. So we've added our chorizo, we've added our rice, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some wine, a tin of tomatoes, because the rice is starting to fry up there, and then we're going to add our stock. So we have some wine, or my favourite rosé. Woo! We're going to stir it around. Whoa! Tin of tomatoes. And now in here, I've got a litre of stock made with 2 stock cubes, and into that I'm going to throw some chili flakes. I'm going to put in some paprika. Oh, lovely sweet paprika. Oh, lovely. I'm pretty sure it's smoked as well. Lovely. I've got some turmeric. I do like to be heavy-handed with the spices. Give that a stir. And then pour that on. Oh, the flavours are starting to really come into their own now. You don't have to cook this outside. You can cook it in a saucepan at home, big saucepan, frying pan, wok, saute pan. It's just a lovely bank holiday treat. So now it's a case of letting it simmer down. The rice will cook as it absorbs the liquid from the hot stock and as the tomatoes warm up as well. And it's just a bit like a risotto, where you need to just keep giving it a stir now and then, keeping an eye on it. And you'll find that it will thicken up, the rice will plump up as it absorbs the stock. And just in the last 5 minutes, we're going to throw in the prawns to give us a bit of a seafood flavour. We don't want the prawns going tough, so we don't want them in for too long. Actually, one other thing I am going to put in, and it's not part of the recipe, it's just something I happen to have in the fridge. I've got here some wild sea purslane. Got it in my veg box, and it's collected from the sea, from the marshlands, and I'm just going to stir it through and let it simmer in. I'm going to have the whole branch in there because I want to be able to just lift the whole branch out at the end of the recipe, just before the end of the cooking, just before we serve it. And that will give a little bit more of a sea flavour to our Spanish paella. So whilst this is simmering down, I'm going to clear away the things we finished with and grab myself a drink. Probably better tell the family that it's nearly ready too. So it's nearly cooked. I'm just going to throw in the prawns. Stir them in to warm up. And then we'll dish it up, serve it with a wedge of lemon, and we've got ourselves a super supper of perfect paella tonight. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.